term's getting tired too.
We welcome Richard Waystack now. He'll talk to us about two committees, but start with the Council on Aging. Richard, tell us a little bit about Council on Aging, the town committee.
I'm happy to. Chris, thanks for having me here today. I want to thank the Board of Information Committee. I think it's a great thing we do. Basically, I'm chair of the Council on Aging, and our mission is very simple. Is to advocate for older adults, their families, and their caregivers in our community. We have a seven-member board, and we are at full capacity. We have no vacancies. We actually have an alternate member who is a member of Public Safety, a member of the Fire Department, which is great to have on our committee.
What types of activities do you do? You represent the seniors, but what do you do?
We do a lot, Michael. We meet monthly, and we create policy for the actual Council on Aging here. As you know, we have a new director, Emily Mitchell, who is a native here of the community, and we do so much. I've got with us our Council on Aging news, and for anyone to pick that up, they would see the breadth of the work that we do for our community, from transportation to programs to feeding to healthcare. We have a number of people on the council who are staff members. As you know, we have our director, we have our staff people, our outreach coordinator, who are social workers. We also have a town nurse, we have a town chef. So we really have the full life cycle for our seniors in this community of care here at the Community Center and the Council on Aging.
Two things that have stood out to me over the years is, could you tell us what the population in Harwich consists of seniors?
Well, we're well over 50% of our community are now seniors in Harwich. And as a result of that, we implemented a year ago a new software program. We talk about that, Michael, and I don't think people realize the breadth of the services we provide to our seniors or the breadth of the services that are needed for our seniors. So our new software is able to track the exact number of people who utilize the services of the Harwich Council on Aging on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. That we'll be able to bring forward to town meeting to show people with data how many people we are serving in this community who are seniors.
I think some of the services are just absolutely fabulous. The durable medical equipment that is free, so our seniors don't need to go out and buy a cane. They can borrow a cane for a long time, walkers. It's just fabulous.
I have one brief story I'd like to share. And a number of years ago, I had a senior who was 92 years of age at the time. She contacted me, her family did, her children. And they said, she's 92, she's still driving, she's slowing down. We want her to move either with us to Minnesota or New Jersey. And I met with them at the house, and I asked the kids to be excused, and I spoke to Mom. And I said, what do you want to do? She said, I don't want to leave. This is my community. She is up here every day. She gets her blood pressure taken every day. She partakes in the dining program here. This is her life. She was able to sell her property, move into assisted living in this community. She's still here at 95 years of age, driving every day.
Yeah.
A follow-up to your, when you meet, you said you meet monthly. Can you tell us exactly when you meet, where you meet, and what time you meet?
Absolutely. We meet the first Wednesday of the month here at the Community Center in one of the available rooms. We meet at 10 a.m. and we're open to the public. We'd love to have you join us. Yeah,
and that's important. And what we're trying to emphasize is people attending meetings so that they can see what you're about and to see if they'd be interested if a vacancy came open. The last thing, Richard, is I was a little blown away by how many volunteers you have for the Council on Aging. Could you just touch on that?
We have over 100 volunteers, Michael. It's a great question. And people don't realize what the value of those volunteers are, what it is, what we would have to spend in employees to do the work that we do if it were not for our volunteers. We do a volunteer recognition twice a year because the volunteers are the lifeblood of our organization.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
If we could move on, will you tell us about your other role with the Board of Assessors?
Thank you. I've been a member of the Board of Assessors here in this community now for 15 years, and the main role of the Board of Assessors is to provide fair and equitable value for every property in town. Every property, both real and personal, including boats and cars. Wide-ranging amount of work that we do at the board. We actually set the tax rate for this community, and there's a great caveat with there. We do not establish the spending for the community, but we set the tax rate based on the value of the community overall. And we're in the midst of our abatement season. We are in charge of a $450,000 budget, and that budget allows us to assist people in need. If there's an error in someone's value, people can file an abatement, and that we will work with them. We also care for so many of our community, our seniors, those with sight impairment, veterans, those who are having financial difficulties. The board does a lot, and we're the only board in this community that is required by law to pass a course, pass an exam, and be certified. So the 3 members of our Board of Assessors are all certified by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to sit on that board.
And you meet when?
We meet Mondays at 5:30 p.m. at the assessor's office. We have a conference room and back, again, open to the public with a caveat again. Because we have an opportunity for people to file abatements and to file various different tax credits, we have to go into executive session. Each taxpayer has a right to have their case heard in an executive session. The beginning of our meetings are open. Again, we welcome. Every week I go through, is there anyone here for public comment or who wishes to speak? We rarely have someone attend.
What am I forgetting to ask you? In June, do you have vacancies, or how does that work for the assessors? I know you have testing requirements.
We have one gentleman whose term will be up in June. I'm hoping that he stays on. This is a committee that you need to have some knowledge.
Yeah.
And we've had no vacancy. We've had none for many, many years. It's an opportunity for people who they wanted to get involved. I think, as a realtor, having some value as a realtor on that committee when we value the community. I think it's important to have some knowledge of what value is of real property. But we've had excellent attendance at our meetings. We do a lot of work, and a lot of work that people don't see. It's sort of below the radar.
Thank you.
Just one note that we haven't talked about yet. All of these meetings are put on the town website. So we have a meeting schedule on the Town of Harwich website, and you can go to the meeting schedule. They post their agenda. So if you're interested in going and learning more about what the assessors do or the Council on Aging, please attend those meetings.
Michael and Chris, just one last thing, that we are basically a stopgap for many people in our community. Those who have difficulty, because we have such a large senior population, for those who are having difficulty meeting their taxes, we have programs that are available. And I was at your Board of Selectmen's meetings all through December and January, imploring people that if you are having difficulty with your taxes, there are programs available. I'm proud of our board. We filed legislation, and we are the only community in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that allows up to a $1,500 tax credit for our seniors in need based on income and asset allocation. We had to file legislation with the House and the Senate in Massachusetts to get that done. We care deeply about our citizens, so if you're having a difficult time meeting your taxes, please come down to the Board of Assessors and to the assessing department and see what programs that might be available to you.
Wonderful.
Just say, as one board member, we're very proud of the work that the assessors have done in getting that legislation passed, and now other communities are following you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks so much.
Nice. Yep. Good.